It's a 2-2 draw at home to Slough Town this afternoon. You think it was a fair result?
Well, we certainly didn't deserve to win the game, that's for sure. And at half-time, I would have bitten your hand off for the point, because despite scoring in the first minute or two, I thought Slough were head and shoulders better than us in the first half. I mean, for all their dominance, I don't think Jack Turner's had a shot to save, but Slough were sharper to the ball. We knew they were going to play long. We thought there was a good chance they would play the system that was so successful away against Western a few weeks back, and we just didn't deal with it. Far too many players underperformed. We'd had the massive bonus of almost a free goal, and we were very, very poor. So the goal we conceded, again, we just can't seem to clear the ball. And I was thrilled we were 1-1 at half time. And I took my time, spoke to my staff, and to make 2 changes, I could have taken 7 or 8 off, changed the system. And I've said to them after the game, I thought for the first 15-20 minutes we were very, very bright, and we got a fabulous goal and really got to grips with the game. But after that, to be fair, I thought it went a little bit basketball, not good quality, and we could have nicked it, they could have nicked it. Obviously a great free kick from Scotty. I certainly can't say we deserved to win the game. I think he'll probably think on the first half they could have won it, but when you look on attempts on goal, I think we probably had as many, if not more, but it was a poor quality game. And as I said, I'm quite pleased we got the point, but the biggest negative, Jordan Orville-Williams back from injury and he's off again with a hammy, so really bad news from that perspective. And that injury list just keeps on growing. It's just quite ridiculous. But on the performance, I thought good reaction at half time to a double change and the shape change, but not good enough, quite frankly, not good enough. And in the morning, I'm relieved we got the point. So again, we're saying similar things, but we don't seem to be reacting to it. But we're still unbeaten at home. Great attendance. I think we should have done better, but we move on.
And just how frustrating was it to concede the lead twice?
Well, obviously when you score in the first minute, we just, as I said, I thought for at least the first 20-25 minutes, I thought Slough completely took over. I think we first started to pass the ball. I looked at the clock, I think it was 24th minute. So perhaps we were a little bit better at the end of the first half, but certainly the first 25 minutes of the second half, certainly after we scored, Slough were totally dominant without creating much, So when you react so quickly after a game as I'm doing now, you need to sit back and watch it. But I've got a good idea. There's no way, Slough were the dominant side at half time, and Ricky's gone mad. Steve Bake's very not happy, and it just wasn't good enough. So, but then the reaction was good, and we got ourselves ahead. But we didn't do enough to win the game. We just certainly didn't do enough to win the game. Their keeper's hardly made. I think he's made one decent save from a free kick. And what's Jack Turner saved? Pretty much nothing. But we didn't do enough with the long throws. We didn't do enough in open play, and we had little patches. They had little patches. Not the greatest quality of game. The referee was all over the place for both teams. It was, quite frankly, nothing else to say. It was just certainly even for both teams on that point. And yeah, very, very frustrating, but we didn't get beat. We scored 2 goals, we led both times, we take the points, and move on.
And 3 goals for Taylor Maloney this week. Do you think we can start to see the best of him now he's on the pitch?
Yeah, and when he gets fitter, sadly he struggles towards the end of games because he's still getting back to full match fitness, but a great goal. Obviously we've missed him. He's one of our star signings, and he's just getting up to full match fitness, and certainly for the first sort of 65-70 minutes he was great. And he tires, which is natural, so but the only way to get him through that is to keep him training, keep him playing, and at the moment with our injury list he's going to get that opportunity. So that is one of the pleasing. As I said, it's difficult because you're sitting here and you haven't lost a game. I think someone's just said that out of the 10 National South games, 6 were draws. Same old stuff us managers chuck out. It's a very tight league, small margins, and as I said, we didn't do enough to win the game. I don't probably think Slough did, certainly on goal attempts. And I said, you just have to sometimes realise we're not playing well, but we've still got, it's that same phrase, we've just got so much more to give. We're very hit and miss at the moment. And last year we had fantastic away form. This year it's not been great. Last year our home form wasn't that great, certainly at the start, and this year we're unbeaten. So really difficult to put a marker on where we really are, and with the injuries, and we just got to reset again. Keep believing in the group, but also telling them some hard truths, because it wasn't good enough in the first half.
And you mentioned the injuries. What's the latest on Connor and Ricky as well?
Yeah, they're all struggling. Connor's Connor's not, he's out for some time, weeks. Ricky is not there yet. We were obviously hoping for this week, but he's not there. Jordan's now going to be a few weeks. It's a hammy. Obviously, Falevi did 15 minutes on Tuesday, and he's getting closer, but still some weeks away from full match fitness. There's this. Sid Nelson wasn't in consideration today. Perez has got a knock as well and was doing a fitness test before. Obviously, now just done Jordan. I mean, it's relentless, isn't it? And then what you're doing is you're asking the players that are fit to keep playing perhaps when they're not. I mean, I'm not going to point it, but there's a couple of lads who told me, quite early in the second half, watch the substitutions because I'm struggling. But there was nothing I could do, because if I hadn't made that double change at half time, I could see nothing other than a Slough comfortable victory. We needed to change the narrative quickly at half time, which thankfully worked. But we're running a bit on empty here. Got to be very careful what we do, very restrictive, and see where it takes us.
And we've got a break from the league now. Weston-super-Mare at home this time next Saturday. What are your thoughts on that one?
Well, at the moment we just need to see who's fit and then work from there. We know Weston are a really good side. They've had another great win today, great win in the FA Cup. They won away today at Truro, and we know how difficult that is, and especially on that pitch. So they're a really good footballing side. We got the better of them a few weeks ago. It means absolutely nothing. And with our team's going to be very different because of all the injuries we're facing. So there is a lot going on, and particularly in our medical room. And we have to see who's fit and then come up with a plan. Massive game, please get everybody behind us. It's the FA Cup, it's a home draw, and it really will be again a really tight game. But of course, it's the FA Cup. Can't wait. At least good performance on Tuesday, and certainly a professional performance. And it shows we've got so much talent. It's just very frustrating at the moment. We're only getting it out in sort of fits and starts.
And a couple transfer rumours flying about. Can you address any of those?
Well, yeah. I mean, we've had a really decent offer for you, Dom. But sorry, mate. We've said no. It didn't quite get to double figures. So our captain the other day. So no. On a serious point, it wasn't our choice to put it out there, but it's been put out there. We have received some offers for Alfie Palmer, and the situation is quite clear. I've always said to everybody, the players, that if something really good comes along, we don't want to stand in their way. And the big issue with the offer is that it's full-time, it's a long-term deal, many years, multiple years, and I'd like to do the right thing with Alfie, and the club would, but it's got to be on our terms at the right time. And the offers then got reduced due to FA Cup, which we certainly didn't agree with, and we need time to replace. So we'll see. There's other interest coming in. He's voted the top striker at the moment in the National South, and I don't want to begrudge him the right move. But at the end of the day, he's our player. I must say his attitude has been superb. He is totally focused on us, whether he's here with us for another day, a month, the rest of the season, 2-3 years. So fantastic attitude, but it's got to be right for us. It was only because it's full time. If it was just another club, we'd be saying go away. We don't want to look at that. But we've got to be able to replace them and not completely destroy our season. Be able to find the right replacement and it to be the right deal for everybody. And at the moment, it's not. So perhaps it will be circulated and others will come in, which is no surprise when we've got very good players. As I said, normally we would say not interested, but because it's a long term, he's got a very young family. We have to try and do the right thing by players. It's an important thing when I sign players to this football club, that we understand that we can't pay your mortgage or your rent. So if the right opportunity comes along, if it's right for the club, we will do our best. So we will look at the situation. We'll continue to look at the situation. That club may come back for an offer. Others that are speaking to us may or may not. And we'll see where we are. But at the end of the day, he's our player. He's the top scorer. He's the top rated striker in the South at the moment. He's doing really well. His attitude's phenomenal. And we've got a massive game in the FA Cup. And we want another cup run. And we want our fans to enjoy it. There was a great attendance today and he scored again. And he was an absolute handful on Tuesday night. Even though he didn't score, he was arguably man of the match. So we shall see what happens. We've got a great relationship with other clubs. It's all very amicable, but the timing's got to be right. It's got to be good value, and it's got to be right for multiple parties. And at the moment, it's not. But that might change. The club have to make the right decision, and we shall see what happens. And Dom, if they up their offer, mate, we might lose you. But as we said, we took you off and we were winning the game, as they said, and we took you off and it all went wrong. So, you know, we've got to smile. It's difficult. We're trying to look after everybody. I'm still incredibly frustrated with today's performance. But we try and do our best here. We do feel we're part of the community, and that includes looking after the players the right way. I don't want to sell a player. Certainly not, you know, my top goal scorer. You know, but ultimately we have to do the right thing, but at the right time, the right figures for everybody. So we'll see where that takes us in the coming days, weeks and months.
Brilliant. Thank you, Spencer, and good luck for next week.
Thanks very much.